Good morning, everyone. This is Judith Echo. You're listening to Mad Love. Let's get into it. So, apparently, there was some violence at the correspondence dinner in DC. And I'll be honest with you, that did not look realistic to me. Now, bear with me. I spent the last 7.5 years, that was my job, to watch footage, coverage, and to put it together for trial. So these look staged to me because when people are surprised, especially by violence, they look like it. Like there's an element of what's going on, where are the shots coming from, like people move a certain way. And in both instances that I've seen video where someone was supposed to be shooting at Trump, it just doesn't look natural. It looks staged. It looks staged. And my thing was, I would tell people all the time, like, it doesn't look like TV. His stuff looks performative like TV. In reality, people don't react like that. Even trained professionals, when they suddenly come under fire, they react a certain way too. And you can't fake it because it's natural and it's your adrenaline and it's your life. And you don't know what's happening, and that looks a certain way, and it's never neat or tidy, or I'll move to cover some, you know what I mean? So here's the thing, it just looks fake. He did this with the Butler thing, and his poll numbers went huge. So this is what I think is happening. It's either A, someone is sending a message to him like, you should be very afraid because you're not doing what we want you to do, or B, my numbers are polling so low, these kind of attempts where I look like a hero and a survivor help my numbers, so let's do another one. That's what I would suspect. It's either one of those two things. Because the way people were reacting, it all feels so performative at this point. Even the media. Like, how people aren't super cynical about this shit by this time. It's like, what are we doing here? What's happening? I mean, every time you turn around, there's something more and more bizarre coming out of that administration. I think we're watching, the last throes of people who thought they would always be in control, losing control. I don't think they really know what to do. I think they want to rob to till. I think they want to get as much money, extract as much money as they can, and then go live in these bunkers they want to live in. Because I don't think this is really the government. I think it's the deep state. I don't think the government is running things. I think the deep state, whatever that is, this shadow group that seems to get to do whatever they want, I think they're running things. And there are an assortment of evil groups out here doing their own bidding, and none of it is to the benefit of the American citizen. And this is global. It's not just our country, but right now we've been the biggest and baddest on the block for a long time, and things aren't going well. Go to the grocery store. I will say this. I did go and buy healthier foods. So if you go non-processed, your bill should be lower. But that's what people don't want to eat. They don't want to eat vegetables and proteins. They want to eat, they want to eat all the bullshit. And it's the bullshit that costs so much money. Anything in a box or a bag that's not, fresh, like outside of your vegetables, when you start getting into the middle of the store, like the pastas, anything in boxes, stuff like that. Even bread is processed. Yeah, that's when you're gonna spend an extra $150, $200. And I'm just one person. I can't imagine buying food for a family in these prices. I remember when chicken was cheap. Chicken is not cheap right now. So if I see a sale, I'm grabbing it. Occasionally you can go to Whole Foods and they'll have like 50% off tags on things. I found that to be in the middle of the week, like a Wednesday, yes, you have to cook it or freeze it that day. But hey, 50% off is 50% off. And so, yeah, we're in interesting times. I think all of that was performative. Oh, saying all that to say, if you spend on healthy food and you shop wisely, buy Whole Foods at Whole Foods, you're gonna save money. You're gonna see your bill is not that bad. It's when you go for the pop and the chips and the corn curls and the nuts and but nuts are a whole food. Um, you just can't overeat them. If you start buying all these things that aren't really whole foods, you're gonna spend a lot of money, no matter what store you go to. But yeah, I'm saying that I think the shootings were staged and choreographed. I think this was another one. There's too many shots of things like JD Vance being pulled to safety. It's weird. It's weird. It's like these people didn't really think they were in actual danger. You dig? That's what I'm saying. So they had to get blood in Butler, Pennsylvania. But that might have even been a prop, because there was a point where they all just sort of crowded around him, and then he appeared with blood on his face. And that galvanized people like Candace Owens to say, that's what a hero looks like. But I will give her credit for buyer's remorse. She has been very vocal in her disappointment in him and how he betrayed her. Tucker Carlson has too. And people don't want to show them any grace because they're like, this is all your fault. It's not their fault. That's what politicians do. They lie. And if you've ever dealt with one, like, they're not pretending. They are liars. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, and then they're going to go off and do whatever they want. I worked for a politician for many, many years, and it was appalling to just watch someone effortlessly play games and wordplay and just try to be clever and creative and deny. And it was like, this is just an awful way to be in the world. And I don't know what would happen to governments if politics weren't involved, but I have to imagine it would be better. I do believe there needs to be some form of government over people, but it's supposed to serve the people, not belittle, berate, and destroy the people. You know what I mean? And when I say deliver us from evil, and I ask you to say it every day, I mean it. Say it sincerely with your heart. Things are being revealed to us every day that are disturbing and alarming. And it's not just one evil group. There are many, many evil operatives out here. And you just have to know that is out here, and that you have power. Your light is your power. Your unwillingness to turn to dark forces is your power. It's a non-negotiable for me. Did you know Sammy Davis Jr. was a Satanist? Like, what? Was he getting up there on TV? When I was a child, he was on TV all the time singing that, who can make the sun shine? Da, 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 da. The Candyman can. Okay, is that a fucking evil song? I mean, what the hell, Sammy? I'm just saying, he was on TV all the time in the 70s singing that shit. Is the Candyman the devil? Fuck off. So anyway, it's been a weird... It's a weird world. Hall & Oates hate each other's guts. Sammy Davis was a Satanist. It's true. Google it. It's so much stuff out here. Apparently, I've been down this rabbit hole where apparently record companies, a lot of them, it sounds like all of them, but I'm not sure. But there are people who, I've heard this on multiple podcasts, that many record companies did rituals over the music to cause spells over people and get big sales. You know, um, like what? So yeah, evil's been around us. It's just now in the room with us, and it's talking, and we looking in the corner like, evil? What the fuck? Because we've been insulated from it. Most of us have been. Certainly, there have been horrible things happening to people, horrible crimes, and then they make you feel like you're crazy if you try to connect some dots. But the dots are connecting themselves right now. So you just need to pay attention. And, it's not time to be afraid. This is spiritual warfare. They've been unleashing interdimensional beings and all kinds of shit, fucking around with that CERN shit, CERN, Google that. I mean, yeah, but I think their time is coming to an end, and I keep feeling like it's going to be like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. A lot of this interdimensional shit is just going to get sucked up into a vacuum, and Harrison Ford is going to be screaming at you, "Don't look! Don't look at it!" That kind of thing. So, and the more I think about it, the more I feel I'm spot on with this sphere analogy. I feel like AI is sphere. It's that technology. It's the same technology. They put this shit out. They have to put it out in little bits and pieces so we don't get overwhelmed and they can continue to control us. But in that movie, they had this magical thing that was a gift, and they didn't know how to use it. They just manifested everything that was wrong with humanity, all of their fears, all their worries, and this orb reproduced those things. Because AI is only as good as what you put in it. Right now, I haven't used generative AI or whatever this next version they keep saying is coming. And I don't even know if it can emerge because we don't have enough supply. We don't have enough energy. We don't have enough anything to do this version of AI that they believe we can have. And it's been oversold to us by a snake oil salesman like Sam Altman, unfortunately a St. Louisan, who's being sued by his sister for sexual molestation. And I think she's special needs, or like she has like something going on in her brain, and that makes it even worse. So the family is saying, well, she's this, that's why she's saying all this. But were you molesting a special needs person? What is wrong with you? And he's a tremendous liar. And I know all I need to know about him. I lost tons of respect when I heard Sam Altman met his husband in Peter Thiel's hot tub. And scene. And I love chat. So this has been tough to break up with chat, but I'm going to have to sever the ties. I don't want to prosper somebody like Sam Altman. But here's what I think is going to happen. They've sold this big deal that they can't match. There are not enough resources. It's just like electric cars. The concept sounds great. Everybody's just riding around in these electric cars and no one's spending money on gas. How is that possible? We don't have enough resources for every car on the road around the globe to be electric. And who's going to pay that electricity bill? It's not like they're offering it for free. It's not like they built the real Tesla's electricity towers. The real Tesla had all these ideas, and one of them was free electricity. Well, it's not like that's the wink for you. So it's not like Tesla cars are driving around on this free Tesla electricity. You got to pay for that shit. You got to pay to charge it. You got to count on the grid. What happens if the grid goes down? Where you gonna go? You can't drive nowhere. I don't know. People aren't asking critical questions. You should not just have one car, and it should not just be an electric car. Because if something happens to the electricity and you can't power that thing, you can't go anywhere. And I've seen way too many of these cars act crazy in deep winter weather, you know. And who's to say someone can't just take control of it and fuck you up? I don't know. There's a lot of questions and things to ask. I don't want to sound like a paranoid person, but if you pay attention, you can't be paranoid. The shit's actually happening in a lot of these instances. So I would just be careful about how you spend your money and what you believe. Don't believe most of what you see or read, because it just, especially the visual news, like the mainstream news, ABC, CBS, NBC, they are really letting us down. I don't even bother with it anymore. There is no integrity in that level of journalism. I just don't see it. They'll say anything. They've been bought and paid for too. Did you know that's why they don't ever do a lot of deep stories on big pharma and how bad it is for you and how they've dropped the ball? Because all the commercials that they put on the evening news basically pays everybody's salary. So they can't bite the hand that feeds. What a world. Everything is just way too transactional. But this podcast is free, and you get to hear my thoughts for free. You're welcome. Uh, there's a new Refuel out. Check it out. If you get a chance to buy yourself a high quality bed, go ahead and do it. I'm going to put my promo code in. Listen, I get it. Everybody isn't budgeted for this. But I'll be honest, if you can afford it, it is lovely. This is like sleeping in a hotel bed, and better, because I was at a hotel in Chicago a couple weeks ago and my bed was way more comfortable than that bed. You know, actually I've been in 2 hotels this year, and nah, my bed beats both of those beds. This might be like the W, or, you know, I like the W. That's my favorite hotel chain. But anyway, life is good. If you can get yourself a bed, you should do it. It's great. If you can get yourself these medical tests, you should do it. Especially if you're under 65. I'm really standing on that, because there's so many things happening to us hormonally, and it's affecting so many of our systems, our metabolic health, our nervous system, everything. You know, it's just worth seeing the big full picture. Now it's going to scare the crap out of you, and when your numbers don't look right, like mine didn't look right, you really have to take drastic measures to change. But see, that's my forte. You know, you're not going to tell me a number and I'm just going to sit there and keep eating bad food. Or, you know, my brother was like, hey, you're sick. And he's like, great, can I have a double Whopper? No, God, that's the worst thing to eat. Yeah, that's not me. I'm the opposite of that. So I've been really attacking my health for the last 6 days. Like, oh, hell no. And it's working. So food is medicine, and you can heal. I stand on business with this. Every disease can be healed if you make those changes. I got interrupted. But I do stand on business with that. I think every disease can be healed. And it's important that you take your health seriously. You really can. You really can heal every disease, but you gotta commit. You gotta commit. The body's designed to heal. It really is. And I'll stand on that. Take care of yourselves. Have an amazing day. Be well. Bye.